Hey y'all, happy Monday. It was just too beautiful again this afternoon for me not to take advantage of being outside to do our Devos for the week. So, hope that you'll join me out on the porch patio and let's just dig into the goodness of God and to what He has given us, the armor, the tools, the equipment that He has given us in order to successfully go through this life, successfully wage war on the kingdom of hell. Now, so last week, Friday, we ended with David and Goliath, which I think every time we read that, it's more empowering. Every time we read it, we grow a little bolder. Or is that just me? Am I the only one that is emboldened every time I read it? This David, this youth who is so confident in his God and who his God is. Well, not just his God, but the God of his forefathers, the God of his ancestors. But he was so confident in his God and in the relationship between them that he could hasten towards the giant, declaring, this day will I defeat you. It is emboldening, and I think that it's such an important part of the story of God's kingdom, that you and I have that same ability. And we talked about the armor of God and Saul's armor, and that being a covenant exchange, but that David had proved his covenant with God, and that was more than enough than what he needed. Though David was not wearing a physical armor that we could see, it proved very, very real, and it was very powerful, and it was more than enough to take care of the task at hand. And so that's a very important thing for us to realize, in that Saul's armor was physical. It could be seen with the natural eye, but it was not enough. It was not right for the task at hand. And that again is from 1 Samuel 17. But the armor of God, the power and authority that David walked in, did not come with outside or visible weaponry, but it was very, very real and very, very powerful. And so I wanted to start with this Luke 10:19, which, remember, that's where we've been for a couple of weeks, kind of digging into pieces of that. And that, let's read it just to get it back in our heads. Luke 10:19. Jesus says to his disciples, "Behold, I have given you authority and power to trample upon serpents and scorpions and physical and mental strength and ability over all the power that the enemy possesses, and nothing shall in any way harm you." And I think that is a great picture of the armor of God, in that it doesn't come necessarily with physical signs and outside that you could look at somebody and say, oh, you know what, they're wearing the breastplate of righteousness. But in their actions and in the boldness and in the way that they live and move and have their being, you know that there is an outside force at work. And what I want to get into, which we're already at the 4-minute mark, we will definitely talk about this tomorrow, is that the Amplified breaks down. If we're back in 1 Samuel 17 and in Luke 10:19, it breaks down this power and authority to trample on scorpions, but it also includes the mental and physical capacity. And that's something that we talked about on day one, definitely in the first week, was that the power, this authority, jurisdiction, right, liberty, and strength that Jesus has given to his disciples, it also includes the physical and mental power. And so I think that is key for us in the body of Christ right now, that we have the physical and mental power over the enemy, and we're going to get into that tomorrow. I will see you then. Bye, y'all.